All right, so welcome everybody to Helium 360, the investment podcast. So as you might already have known, we sent out some flyers about some of individuals who will be helping us with this discussion. The first person being Mr. Daniel Ajay, who is known for his expertise in management, accounting, and finance. He holds a bachelor's degree from University of Cape Coast, UCC, and is also a certified chartered accountant by the Institute of Chartered Accountants in Ghana, and is currently reading his master's degree in industrial finance and investment at KNUST. So we're hearing from him. The next person is Richard Opoku Mensah, who's a very good friend of mine. He's also a very skilled policy analyst and a strategist, and experience in both public and private sector. Currently, he works with the Ministry of Finance as a technical analyst, and he supports national economic policy and development. And previously, he's worked with KPMG as a leading strategy for projects internationally and locally. And then we have Bismarck Kusi. Bismarck Kusi is also a chartered certified accountant with ACCA, and he's also worked with PwC as a senior manager. I think he became the youngest person to ever be a senior manager at PwC Ghana, so that's very good. And then we have Dr. Sarah Mkawo, who is a senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. He has about 15 years experience in teaching and professional experience. He has a PhD in economics, certified global management accountant, Association of Certified Management Accountants. He has an MBA and a Bachelor of Commerce BCom degree. His research areas are into economic development, public policy, and financial management. And he also a regular host on Joy News TV, another popular radio and TV show. If you want to catch up to him, you can follow up on him. So everyone here, the discussion is going to be a series of questions and answers on my part. I'll ask some questions and then the panelists will discuss it. And after the discussion, we open up the floor for questions from the audience. So anyone who has any question, just save it till after the presentations. You can come up with a question and these people will help you answer them. So yeah, let's get a ball rolling. The first question is a very popular topic in finance, which every finance person knows, is time value of money. So you want to explain what time value of money is and how is the value of money affected? What are some of the factors that affect the value of money? So we go with Professor Kawo to do that for us.
All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming this evening. I may ask you all a question, and maybe one or two may give an answer. I have 10,000 Ghana cedis. I want to give you the 10,000 Ghana cedis today, or you wait and take the 10,000 cedis in a year's time. Which one would you prefer? Can somebody give me an answer? 10,000 Ghana cedis today, 10,000 Ghana cedis in a year's time. Which one would you prefer?
10,000 10,000 now.
10,000 now. Good. All right. So if we want to have 10,000 now, what are some of the reasons why you want the 10,000 now and not tomorrow?
I would say that if I get it now, by next year's time, I could have invested it or used it in such a way that I would increase the amount, you know.
Okay.
I will add value to it along the line.
Okay.
So that 10,000 for me today will not be probably the same amount in 1 year's time.
Oh, okay. What other reason? That is one, that you invest and get interest on it. What is another reason? Why you want the 10,000 cedis today?
Prof, I also think that what it can do today, it may not be able to do in a year's time.
All right, so what 10,000 can do today, you won't be able to use that to do anything in a year's time. That means that you are talking about inflation that affects the value of the money. What other reason? I need one more reason why you think 10,000 Ghana cedis to you will receive it now and not tomorrow or not in a year's time. One more reason. I want it to be interactive.
Well, for me, I mean, I can die tomorrow, so I need it now.
You can die tomorrow. I can die tomorrow. I can change my mind. That brings about the issue of risk. And you want to avoid this, so you want to get the money today. Ladies and gentlemen, we've all just discussed and realized that the value of 10,000 Ghana cedis today is better and is more valuable than the value of 10,000 Ghana cedis tomorrow. And so when we talk about time value of money, we are simply saying that the value of a cedi today is much worse than the value of a cedi tomorrow. The value of $1 today is better than the value of $1 tomorrow. The value of $1 in the morning is not the same as the value of the dollar or cedi in the evening, which tells us that the money that you have today is a present value. And that leads us to the value of the money you have tomorrow. That is the future value. And so when we are saying that time is money, it tells us that at every point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we must know how we use our money prudently so that we will not incur any loss in the future. Because whatever that we are going to plan, we are planning for it tomorrow. And proper planning prevents poor performance. And so financial decisions that must be taken, we must know that the value of the money now is not the same as the value of the money tomorrow. Some of the reasons by which we are saying this is that, yes, you can invest the money today and you are able to earn interest on it tomorrow. And that is what Enoch told us earlier on. Enoch also told us that, look, the value, what the 10,000 can do today, same 10,000 cannot do that tomorrow, which means that inflation would affect the value of the money. So the prices of commodities will continue, or whatever item that we have will continue to increase from time to time. And then the third one, which Kusi told us, he said, look, he can die today. I can die today. I can change my mind. And so there is a risk associated with all these things. And so there is the need for us to all look at it from the investment perspective, not savings. Because if you save the 10,000, you will not earn any interest. And it will be the same 10,000. Remember the parable that we have in the Bible that talks about Jesus giving some treasuries to some people, and somebody went to bury it and then bring it back. This is what you've given me. The one who used it and turn it over time gets some amount of money. Some people in Ghana today may argue on the concept that, or the view that, look, you can even keep that amount of money and then investments will be locked up. Banking sector cleanup may affect whatever you have. Financial sector cleanup may affect it, but you are still better than keeping that particular amount of money. And so present value, future value. And when you want to do this, you want to know the future, how much money you can make tomorrow through interest. the best way is to go to the Bank of Ghana or any bank, what would I say, central bank. Go to their website, look at their treasury bill rates. The treasury bill rate, they have the interest rate, and then they have the discount rate. The interest rate will let you have money tomorrow. So the interest will accumulate on the principal that you have invested. And so you get some amount of money tomorrow. Now, when you save or you invest, if it is a good investment, you don't lose the principal. At any point in time, you can go for your money before the time of maturity. And in doing that, you discount the future value to a present value, and you get a lot of interest on that amount of money as well. I believe we've been able to explain what time value of money means. When we say time is money, it means that the value of the money today is better than the value of the money tomorrow. We say that you can invest, you can earn interest, inflation will affect whatever, and there is a risk component, and then you compute those risks, and then before you know the type of risks that you want to take. Enoch, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kawa, for the explanation of time value of money. So now we know that just having money sitting somewhere is probably going to lose value. Will definitely lose value, not probably. And so we have to find means and ways to at least save the value of our money and not let it deteriorate. So we asked Daniel to give us some differences between saving and investing. When we say save and invest, what does it mean? And specifically, how can investing help us mitigate some of the loss of money due to time? Can you unmute, please?
Okay. When we talk about savings and investments, I know in our life, one way or the other, we've all saved in our lives before. But before I start, in doing budget, we call something the 50-30-20 rule of a budget. And it will tell you that in doing your budget, 50% of your money, whatever comes to you, should go to your needs. When we talk about the needs, these are monies, the things that you can do without. And 30% should go to your wants. Those items that, at least in one way or the other, you can forgo them. Without them, you can live. And 20% should go to your savings. So using the same 10,000 principle, having 10,000, it therefore says that 5,000 should go to where? Let's all answer. Where should we go to?
Your needs.
Your needs. And the 3,000 out of the 10,000 goes to?
Your wants.
Your wants. And 2,000 goes to your savings.
Savings, okay.
The question this evening is that, I'm assuming we are earning 10,000. Are we able to set aside these 2,000 we're talking about? It is quite difficult for us to do. So this gives us and tells us that savings is a portion of our income set aside to cater for emergencies. At a point in life, you may lose your job. At a point in life, something might happen to you, medical bills, emergencies, and other things, which you might need the 2,000 you've set aside. But don't also forget that in life, whether savings or investments, it all comes with its own risk and return. But when we look at savings, the risk is less because you can keep the monies under your pillows, in your Osusu box, in your bank accounts, or what have you. And again, with the savings, it is easy to access it. That is what we call liquidity. When you keep money in your bank accounts, it is easy to access. When you keep it in your Osusu box, sometimes when we keep monies in our Osusu box, we turn into thieves ourselves, stealing the monies we have in our Osusu box. Let's take the investment on the other hand. Some people can save and save to a point where the savings become more than, their 6 months monthly salary, which is a bad habit. So what we're saying here is that, at a point, even though we are encouraging that we save, the savings you're doing should have a limit. So whatever excess of the limit should go into your investments. What therefore is the investment? We are saying that holding so much cash with you can lead to the loss of the purchasing power due to the inflation, just like what Doctor said. If you hold too much cash in your bank accounts, it's going to lose value. You are going to lose its purchasing power. What that amount of money can do today, that same amount of money cannot do in 5 months' time. Talking about investment, you cannot talk about investment without talking about risk and returns. Investment comes with its own risk, and the risk, depending on where you invest your money, we can say that the risk associated with, investment is moderate to high. We can also talk about the returns on investments. The returns on investments, depending on where you invest your money, is also high and much better than you keeping the money in your savings account. Let's also talk about liquidity or accessibility. Let's assume you use your 10,000 to buy, you've accumulated 2,000 at a point in time. You have 10,000 in your savings account. You use that money to buy a piece of land. Then at a point, you need money. Ask yourself, how easy will it be for you to, convert that piece of land into physical cash? It is quite difficult. So thinking about savings and investments, you need to look at your liquidity, your cash needs. What amount of cash do you need to hold on hand for emergency purposes? You need to also look at what you need, what your investment plans are. What kind of investment packages are you going to invest in? Which of them can you easily convert, into cash? All these factors have to be considered before you make savings or investment decisions. Looking at the second question, he's talking about how you and we can invest to, mitigate loss of money due to time. Time has a lot of uncertainties. Believe you me, it has a lot of uncertainties. And because of inflation, you and I have to be very much aware and know what to do, where to invest our monies as well. Taking you back to time value of money and using the same 10,000 principle, having 10,000 Ghana cedis today and assuming a bag of cement is 100 Ghana cedis, it means that you can buy how many bags of cement today with 10,000 Ghana cedis? How many bags? You're going to buy 100 bags of cement. Is that correct? You're going to buy 100 bags. But let's assume you kept the money, or you keep the money in your savings account, this 10,000, and in 5 months' time, you want to go and buy this same 100 bags of cement. You go there, and the bag of cement 5 months ago was 100 cedis, and now, or in the future, it's 110. It means that you're not going to get this 100 bags of cement again. This is the reason why you need to invest your money in order that you can mitigate any losses that may come in the near future. You need to invest your money so you get some returns on it. That returns can compensate for any losses that may arise in the near future. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Daniel. So we've known about the time value of money. We've known about the importance of investing our money. So we want to look at some of the types of investment. And with this, we just want to limit, we have several types, but for the sake of this discussion, we just want to limit it to real investment and financial investment. And so we'll let our brother Mr. Richie Dopoku, to handle that for us.
I think Richie is fine.
Oh, okay.
For old time's sake.
Old time's sake.
Yeah, and then thank you very much. I want to emphasize that Dr. Kawo taught all the panelists that you have today. So just a special accord of the respect that we have for you. Thank you very much. And
I'm humbled.
Yeah, and I think what Daniel said, maybe I'll come back to it, but To respond to the question, I think the difference between real and financial investment. So following from what Daniel said about if you keep money in savings, it loses value over time. So ordinarily, if you mop up savings for a period, the advice is for you to push it somewhere. And the 6 months rule, I had this conversation with a doctor who randomly asked me my thought about where to push in money, and I was telling him that you save for a period. You can give yourself, depending on your liquidity needs, that if it is 3 months, after 3 months, whatever you've saved, you can push it into an investment. It could be 6 months for someone, but the caveat or you may put a random gauge around it, that you should have savings as much enough that you can take care of yourself if you lose a job, and between the time you lose a job and the time that you get a job, so that you'll be liquid to take care of yourself. So if it takes 3 months, or you think in the industry you work, 6 months would be easy for you to get something doing, I think it will be prudent you could have such savings. But if it goes beyond that, you make sure that you are pushing the money somewhere that it will yield the benefits, which is an investment. You have the option to invest in financial assets or in real assets. Real assets are tangible assets that you need to operate for you to get a benefit out of it. Classical example may be if you buy a land, you see the land with the money that you buy. At least the land itself is there. You can sell it, you can operate, you can work on it. That is something tangible that you can reference, that your money has gone into the land. Another may be if you buy in a house, of course, which is related to the land. Or in Ghana, I know some friends can come together, buy a farmland, and then get some laborers to work on it, sell the produce, give them their money. At least you see that there is a farmland that people are operating. In our space, in fact, in textbooks, you may not see them, but in our space, one real investment is the buying and selling, the commercial activities that people do. If you are buying, either you are renting a shop, buying things and reselling, or you are buying them, stocking it in your house and reselling, it is indeed real investment, because your money, you could see the worth of your money in the products that you're keeping that you have to resell. On financial assets are, you put your money somewhere, you are given a receipt. In this instance, you are given a notification that your money sits there, and that is an asset that you could use. So if I buy T-bills, I'll get a notification. Okay, so an example of financial asset, treasury bill. If I buy treasury bill, I get a notification that I've bought treasury bill of 10,000. But you don't see the asset. Patience, I think your microphone is on, so if you could check that. You don't see the assets. So financial assets, they are not tangible. It is very much paper-based, or let me say electronic notifications, but it also has a way that you could easily transfer it. So for instance, if I buy bonds or if I buy T-bills, you could hand over the value of the T-bills to another person by transfer, or you could just go to the bank, liquidate your T-bills within the day you give notification, and 2 days you are able to make your money back. The opposite for real assets is it takes a while to dispose it of. So it is not very liquid. So if I buy a land and I want to resell, the chances of me getting a buyer, going through the process of reselling, may take another 3 weeks minimum to 6 months to 2 years, right? So the real assets are not as liquid as you have for the financial assets. And again, real assets mostly appreciate over time. In fact, both are investments, so the returns will come. But the value of the real assets, as you see it, most of the time appreciate over time. And as you for financial assets, as you agree on the percentages that you'll be getting on them, it keeps still. But assuming you buy a land in maybe Pokuase, and randomly government comes to construct the road in Pokuase, just an instant, the land that you bought for 10,000 may now be worth maybe 50,000 for no work that you did or no agreement that you signed. So it's kind of have that intrinsic appreciation of value that may be coming out of some external factors. An example may be investing again in commodities. So if I buy maybe cocoa or I buy coffee for reselling, it is a real asset. Disposing it off, you may go through the process, but the market for cocoa can just shoot up for one reason or the other, and the value of cocoa that you would have expected or projected kind of shoots up. So real assets, they both have their advantages, they both have their disadvantages. All you need to know or do is to strategically decide how liquid you want to be in terms of getting your monies back, and how long you want to invest in some of these things, and then you can decide where you want to do. Most financial analysts would advise you that you should diversify your portfolio. So you may invest partly into some financial assets and partly into some real assets. And I know that some discussions will go on around that. So I'll leave that hanging until we get into the issues of diversification of portfolio. Thank you very much.